Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of the Surgecast. We gave Kat the night off, so it's the paid intern Richie here with Zach tonight. Zach, how you doing?
Doing good, Rich. The team's on a 7-game winning streak, feeling really well. Now we got to California, get our first Canes After Dark in a while. But honestly, it's always great to talk hockey. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Anytime the Canes are on a 7-game heater, the vibes are immaculate. So
Oh yes,
we'll
100%.
get into all of that past game recaps, what's coming up, a little bit of a roundup on the Canes. But first, make sure y'all are following us on the socials. You can't tell by my voice, was a little sick over the weekend, so I haven't been posting much. But we're gonna get back to it. We still have all of the milestone graphics coming out. Mark Jankowski, 400th career game tomorrow. Fun fact, if you didn't know.
Now you
Got
know.
that graph coming out. The TikToks are coming back, so make sure you're following us at the Surgecast and all the socials, and on TikTok at the.surgecast. If you can't find Zach, you're probably off social media.
Yeah, at this point, like, what are we doing here?
At One True Zach on most socials, so give him the follow there. But yeah, we're happy to talk all things Hurricanes with y'all tonight, today, whenever you listen. And I mean, starting with, like we said, Canes are the hottest team in the league, and even TSN agrees with us on the recent power rankings as of Monday. Canes are number one in the NHL.
Oh, geez, who could? After everyone and their mother was saying, "Oh, the Hurricanes lost the deadline; they're not going to be contenders anymore. They're worse than they were before." Yeah, about that. How about a nice little 7-game here? You win, 4 of your last 4, and yeah, you're feeling pretty good about yourselves. Beating the number 1 team in the Jets, beating Tampa Bay pretty good, beating Detroit. Oh yeah, and you shut out the Philadelphia Flyers because why not? On the road too for a second half of a back-to-back. Yeah, like you said, Rich, the vibes are absolutely immaculate right now.
Which, again, some people might say, "Oh, well, 3 of those 7 games were with Miko." But yeah, they won 4 in a row with the team that they have. Like that
Yeah,
alone should tell you everything, and not just like close, like the other 3 games where like
four,
they have
four,
been dominating,
4, 5.
scoring goals, things
Yeah,
that we weren't doing with Miko, nor was he doing.
Yeah,
So
we've managed to score 4 or more goals in all 4 of those games, and one of them was a 5-0 win against the Flyers. Yeah, going from like what 1-2 goals a game here and there to all right, here's 4 off the rip, back to back to back. Like we haven't seen them go on a heater of 4 straight of games with 4 goals or more since the 14-4 run. That's how insane it's been to see. Like, oh, okay, we got the OG started the season form back right now, and they say, hey, you want to get hot at the right time? This is a perfect time to get hot for the Carolina Hurricanes.
which we'll jump ahead a little bit. Sebastian Aho had an article come out. It's in Finnish, but when you translate it to English, it essentially ends up saying one of Sebastian Aho's quotes is, "When we came into the locker room for the first practices after the transfer deadline, aka trade deadline, everyone knew that we would be playing with these players for the rest of the season. It created a sense of unity in the team and gave us peace of mind." And then, yeah, of course, it gave you peace of mind. You score at least 4 goals every game since.
Yeah, and Mark Jankowski decided to go Super Saiyan and go, what, 4 goals on 4 shots in 4 games, and he's on the Hattie Watch twice in the middle of that, and one of them was against the Jets. He had 4 goals for most of the season with Nashville. He comes into Carolina 4-4. 2 multi-goal games. Like, have yourself an absolute heater. Like, way to welcome yourself to Raleigh, Mark Jankowski. Oh, and like Logan Stakeoven on the power play, no less, scores goals. So, yeah, see, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. That's for sure.
Yeah, everything that he says in the article is true. These guys are bought in. This is a team that wants to be here. And not only that, Eric Tolsky has assembled guys who are dogs, guys
Oh,
who
yeah.
work the Rod Brindamore way, guys who want to get down and dirty, guys who are willing to do anything and everything. And it's shown, and it's been effective throughout this past 4-game stretch.
Yeah. It really is because, and that's the crazy part too, is when you listen to, Mike Maniscalco and Shane Willis on Canes Cast, they say it all the time. It's for Rod Brindamore and the coaches. If you don't fit in with the Carolina Hurricanes, you're not there very long. You saw it with Michael Bunting. He had a 3-year contract, gone in his first year with the team. You see with Mikko Rantanen, he's gone within 13 games after getting traded for. So, yeah, and You see with past guys too, like Eric Holla and all of them. It's like if you don't buy into the system and want to pull the rope with everyone else, you're not here very long. And it's not against some of those guys. Some different circumstances to others, but you guys look at guys like Jay Gensel. He was fantastic. It's just unfortunate contract didn't come up right, which I know we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, if you're bought into the system and you're playing the way that makes this team run and you fit in really well with this group, once everyone's clicking and everyone's bought in and you're hitting all cylinders, you're seeing where this team is outside of the power play. They are lights out across the board. It is insane how this team has just gone from being like, oh, they're playing okay, win here, loss here, win here, loss here, to immediately 7 games. And they just look absolutely buzzsawing across everyone right now.
And to that point, Zach, not only are these dudes bought in, these dudes are hot, and they're getting hot at the right time, right before playoffs, because that was the big piece of everyone was getting all bent out of shape before the Four Nations break. Oh, no, Canes are struggling. The back of my mind the entire time, that's when you want to struggle, when it doesn't matter as much. If you're able to stay this hot going into the playoffs, who knows what will happen then? You have a beat-up New Jersey team, and then if you get past them, Washington likely wins the President's Cup. They have a curse. That alone, they'll have the curse, and then they cannot stay hot the entire season. I'd be shocked if they did. But you have kind of that going for you. Then who knows what happens by the time you reach the Eastern Conference Finals. So, like, you have a team that is hot at the right time with guys who are bought in. That is exactly what you want in the team right before the playoffs.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's what you really need. And I've said it all along, and you've heard me say it on this show and Locked On Hurricanes as well. If you're going to struggle, do it in November, December, January. Yeah, you're going to have those months where you're going to struggle. Even February, too. Like, you see the Hurricanes win 10 games in January, 22 points. You're like, okay, maybe they turned the corner. Yeah, they had a bad February, but let's be honest. Like, you have, 4 games to start, 3 games at the very end. You didn't really have a lot of games to go on. Wasn't the greatest month. Then you turn to March, and you're like, oh, my goodness, this team is just absolutely just knifing through everyone. And it's like, yeah, if you want to get hot, this is it, because you have 15 games left in the regular season. Will you go 15 of the rest of the way? Probably not. But if you get a good majority of those wins, and like I say, you go to the playoffs, maybe Columbus catches New Jersey. Maybe they knock New Jersey out of the 3 spot. Or you do play Jersey, and it's like, okay, their team is pretty much, their team's kind of beat up. They got guys out. How's this going to play? It's not a guarantee, but you're feeling pretty good about yourselves going into the playoffs with a very hot team that's, looking to go 7 for 7 in the first round in the Bryn Mawr era.
Which, side note, this Metro wildcard race is absolutely insane. Yeah. It looks like Ottawa probably has the first wildcard set, but between Montreal, the Rangers, the Islanders, Jackets, Wings, and Bruins, 4 points in a mix of 2 or 3 games. Differentials played between everyone. So who knows which team will end up playing the Capitals in the first round. Yeah, but that would be crazy. And by the grace of God, if Matthew Tkachuk is not injured come the playoffs, which knowing him, he probably will be fine.
Yeah.
Tkachuk, first round.
That would be
just as much watch TV as Nico versus Colorado in the first round, too. We are going to have some amazing first round matchups.
Oh, yeah. The first round matchups are going to be insane because the fact you're probably looking at, Florida, Ottawa. And then it's like Toronto, Tampa again. Like that's gonna be an absolute duel between those 2 teams, which is similar jersey against similar jersey, which is absolutely just it hurts the eyes because they look exactly the same. It's just swap the logo. But yeah, you get Florida, Ottawa. Oh boy, that's gonna be electric type of stuff, and that's the first round too. Like good grief.
Yeah, let everyone beat the hell out of each other, and then by the time we
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, maybe we'll get some 2019 luck against the Capitals. Oh, the Capitals are the juggernauts. Who's going to stop them? Well, the Hurricanes had something to say about that in 2019. So we've faced them in the second round. Just saying, the playoffs, anything can happen in the playoffs, Rich. You know how it goes.
That's true. And the Canes are pretty well set up for the playoffs for the long term. And it's sounding like the Canes are going to be pretty aggressive this offseason, which I think most Canes fans expected of this year being, the down year. And summer 25 is when everything pops off.
Yeah.
And you will have, according to Pierre LeBrun, this is no surprise by any means, because the Canes, they obviously pursued Mitch Marner at the trade deadline to potentially flip for Rantanen. But
Yep.
Pierre LeBrun says the Canes love to take big swings. I would expect the Hurricanes to find out if they're on his list being Mitch Marner's list, and expect them to be aggressive this summer. So whether it's going for Marner or someone else, the Canes should be very aggressive this summer. And everyone's going to say, well, we don't get superstars. We don't retain superstars. And Sebastian Aho said it in his article, the same exact article about Jay Gensos. He wanted to stay, just came down to the contractual matters. And like we talked about before, there were so many deals that Eric Tulsky was dealing with as Don Waddell was leaving. There's a lot on this plate. So can't blame them too much, but Gensel wanted to stay, which means stars want to stay and potentially come here. So this offseason, it'll be the Canes are in such a great position to be set for success for the long term. So it'll be awesome to see what moves and how Eric Tulsky wheels and deals with so much cap space.
Oh, 100%. I put the thread up, what was it, a couple weeks ago, where I'm like, all right, let's look at the contracts. What are we looking at for the summer? This is before they had Mark Jankowski. So if you add Jankowski's contract, you're looking at $36 million roughly in cap space. Okay, let's say you bring back Robinson for $1.5 million too. You bring back Hall for what, $3-4 million? Okay, so you're knocking off another. Let's say it's 4 and 2, just for the sake of argument. You're knocking another 6 off. You're looking at $30 million in cap space. Marner wants the bag. If you want to give him $14 million, fine. No big deal. Give him 14. You're still looking at like what? A good 16 million left in cap, however that works out. You have enough space to go get, other guys. Like, so you bring back Hall, you bring back Robinson. Let's say you go get a Mitch Marner. Then it's what? The defense is all set. You got Slavin, you got Gostisbehere, Walker, Chatty, automatic 4 already signed up for next season, the year after that, and the year after that. Then you got Nikishin coming over. Oh, that's going to be fun when that gets whatever his contract is. I'm still not sure how that's going to work out. Then you get Morrow coming up. Morrow's been playing great. It's okay. Your defense is set. So in terms of, let's say, if you look at the main roster now, let's say Hall and Robinson's back. You're only adding Mitch Marner because William Carey is going to be back. So you're only adding a Mitch Marner or insert big top free agent forward there. Then it's just a depth forward, 7th D man, and then it's who's your tandem goalie. Let's say Vladar, Alex Lyon, Anton Forsberg. Let's say Jackson Stauber from Utah just for the heck of it. I mean, there's a bunch of guys you can get available. You don't need that many guys on your contracts for next season. 2 depth guys, a top winger, and a tandem goalie to go with Piotr. You only need that's crazy.
We still have both first-round picks from the Dallas Stars in the Miko trade, too. So, let alone this offseason, you have the cap space. It depends how crazy Eric Tulsky wants to get.
Hey,
if he finally wants to make that big swing with a guy who's been under contract for a while, who may not be happy with his future team, like, he has every asset available. Like, I don't think you're going to trade away a big blue-chip prospect. But if he wanted to, by any means, add in the draft picks, like he has the firepower to do so if he truly wanted to.
Well, you think about it, because he even said that if their bandwidth wasn't so stretched on the waiting on the Mikko Rantanen thing, they were going to flip the first. And Vancouver said, "Give us a first for Besser, and we're done." So maybe Besser's also on the radar. We're talking about Mitch Marner. Brock Besser could be available for the Hurricanes if they want to go after him. Nikolai Ehlers could go. They can go after him too. I mean, there's a lot of forwards you can go snacks. I mean, you can talk to Vancouver and say, "Hey, give us his rights. We'll throw you this pick. If we know he wants to be here, then fine, that'll be perfect." And there we go. Then you got Brock Besser on an 8-year contract if you want to give it to him, or you want to go and throw Marner to the bag. You can do that too. So there's the fact that even if you bring 2 guys back, add a couple depth, add a tandem goalie, you can go get yourself a top right winger, top left winger, however you want to do it. And then there you go. Then you're all set for next year because you're going to get Carrier back. Throw him with Jankowski, Robinson. Then it's Stankoven and the Jordans. Svechnikov, Kotkaniemi, Hall is your second line. And it's Aho, Jarvis, and whoever you pick up in free agency. My gosh, that forward core is nasty.
That is disgusting. And hopefully, potentially, allegedly, would be the right term to use, that Alexander Nikishin could be here for the playoffs, which this is from rg.org. So I don't know how reliable they are, but obviously we know Nikishin has already signed with his North American representation, so the rumors are
Mhm.
starting like, oh, he might come over. This article is primarily talking about Demidov, who was Montreal's first-round pick this past year.
Yeah.
But since they're both playing overseas, a section of this article says, take Alexander Nikishin, the captain of the club and the top prospect of the Carolina Hurricanes. After his many years of service to the organization, his representatives and SKA have come to an agreement that he would be able to leave early to join the Hurricanes for the NHL playoffs. Whether Rod, Eric, all them want him over, or if that's truly going to happen or not, I don't know. It would be
Allegedly.
sick. Yes, allegedly, because I don't know how reputable this is, but if it is reputable, oh my God.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
everyone, the sooner the better on Alexander Nikishin. But the worst case scenario, he's here for training camp and everything. But we get a little taste for him in the playoffs. Oh my God. Canes fans would lose their mind. So I think we're all holding out hope that it could happen because everyone thought in the back of the mind there's a small chance.
Yeah.
Hopefully it actually can, but who knows?
Yeah, I would love to be on this train of getting Nikishin early, but I'm still of the mind that it's going to be next season we're going to get him, because when their season ends and they got the playoffs too, I don't think Scott's going to let him go right before their playoffs. So like I said, I would love to see it happen, but I still feel like it's going to be a 25-26 debut for Nikishin. But hey, never say never. Crazier things can happen, but if it does, oh my goodness. But then my thing is, who are you taking out of the lineup? That's the real question.
I don't know, nor do I care, as long as it's not Jacob Slavin. If there's Alexander like power play slap shot,
my God. Yeah. I think it's none of the. I mean, it's not going to be Ghost. It's not going to be Slavin. So, and it's not going to be Walker.
Give me a Mike Maniscalco. Nikishin! Oh, mercy!
Oh my gosh,
that first one is going to hit like crack.
That is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. Like I said, if you get him and Moore up next year together, or out of their pair together, we get them on that roster, that defense is gonna look all kinds of terrible. Just terrible in a good way of like, ew, gross.
Yeah, of that so defense. We cannot wait for that to happen. But in the meantime, we'll reel it in to the current Canes. Have some injury updates.
Bring it back.
Got some injury updates to talk about today. Walt Ruff tweeting out Dmitry Orlov should be good to go coming up on this road trip to be inserted back in the lineup. Now, will he? Won't he? Are you going to ride with Scott Morrow, which you should, in my opinion? But I don't know how that's all going to work. But Orlov will be ready to go, and I'll leave it up to Rod. But
I said on Locked On for the coming up for the Thursday show is for me it's like I don't want to mess with the feng shui, the good vibes, the mojo, because Rich, I know you've probably seen Bull Durham. You don't mess with a winning streak. You're on a 7-game heater right now. Scotty's been playing very well with Walker together. Those two have been playing phenomenal. He's made it very tough to come out of this lineup. Yes, I know you're paying Orlov all this money. Yes, it's on the last year of his deal. You want to use him. But if he's not really 100% to go, give him the extra day off against the Sharks. Since you're off on Friday before you have the weekend back-to-back, just ride with Scotty for the Sharks game. And then if you really want Orlov, get him ready for the weekend games. Like, you're on a 7-game heater right now. Why would you want to mess with the defense right now and messing with all the other stuff you got going on? You're absolutely flying right now. But
yeah, so
I agree. Play Scotty.
Yes, I think everyone's on that page, but they pay Rod Brindamore the big bucks for a reason to make those to make those decisions. Meanwhile, Andrei Svechnikov, upper body injury. Rod said he wasn't sure if he'll even travel to California or not. I think me personally, it's the shoulder from whenever he collided with everyone. I forgot what game that was. Was that Boston, Winnipeg? I can't remember. Whenever he went out,
it was Winnipeg because
it was such a weird play.
It's always Winnipeg. Somehow, every time he plays Winnipeg, something happens. So I think it was that game. Yeah, because it was weird because he played the rest of that game and he's been out since. I know he was in a no contact at morning skate on Wednesday. Like I said, I don't know if he did go with them. If he did, it could be if he is ready, we'll play him. If not, hey, at least he's already there, I guess, to be with the team. So I'm not really sure. I don't see why they would keep him in Carolina if he's a possibility, but I would not suspect him being ready for the Sharks game.
A very, very Rod Brindamore response on that, and Rod Brindamore injury update. Who'd have thought that? But meanwhile,
it's like,
yeah,
huh, yeah, maybe.
yeah. Read into it how you want.
Get your Dakota ring out for Rod Brindamore. What does he mean?
Yeah. Another forward though who's been injured for a while finally got on the ice again today. William Carrier skating for the first time since his injuries, so I think everyone is excited to see him get inserted back in the Jordan line. Absolute shutdown.
Yeah, I think it's been since January 4th is when he got injured. So yeah, it's been quite a bit. Him on that third line with the Jordans, or even put him on the fourth with Jankowski and Robinson. Not bad either. I mean, either way, I mean, that's going to be wherever you throw Carrier, you're going to be fine. And the fact we still got him for another 5 seasons at $2 million is still like, what? How did this happen?
Guys who are bought in, guys who want to be here, guys who fit the system.
He is an analytical darling, and the Hurricanes love their analytical guys for sure. And Carrier's won a Stanley Cup, so. There you go.
Yeah, it is great to see that, and again, just let him progress before the playoffs, get him back into the action slowly but surely, and then have him ready to just beat the hell out of people.
Oh yes, playoffs. 100%.
But that's all for our little roundup. We're gonna do some recaps now. Again, shocker, spoiler: the Canes won.
That happened.
And they won big, which I think, though, the big thing people thought going into the Detroit and Philly games were, are they going to blow this? Are they going to play down to the competition, things the Canes have done in the past?
Mm-hmm.
And overall, they did not do that, which is great. They're beating the teams that they should, the way that they should.
Yeah, because I mean, the last time we played Detroit, you won 2-1. It's like, well, wow, they didn't really play that great. Well, they did play great. It's just Alex Lyon was doing Alex Lyon things. And Rod even said they should have scored 4 or 5 goals. It's just Alex played out of his mind. But in this game, you could tell right from the rip, the Hurricanes are ready to go. I mean, you beat them 4-2. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. So you take care of business. You beat them twice in 10 days, essentially, or very close to it. It's like we haven't played them all season, then we get them twice in the span of just 2 weeks, which is great job NHL scheduling. But yeah, they went in there. Is at Lenovo, first half of a back-to-back home and road, take care of business. You go 4-0 on the homestand. Hey, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And yeah, you go to Philadelphia, and Pierre Kachekov, oh my gosh, have yourself a game. The netminder, out of his mind hockey right now. 4 or 5 game winning streak. He's still setting his career high in wins. He's up to 25 now, Rich. His previous was 23 last year. He's at 25. That's insane. This dude is still rattling off wins to keep setting his career high. And the dude won a 5-0 shutout against Philadelphia. Not upset about that.
Yeah, it's everyone is hot. The guys are scoring goals. At a massive rate compared to what we had been most of the season.
January and February for sure. Yeah. And Freddie's been playing out of his mind too. Yeah, I think he's 3-1 in his last 4 starts, but he's a sub 1.9 goals against and a 930 save percentage. Sure, okay. Both of our goalies are just playing phenomenal hockey, and it's well, look at that. Goal was never the issue. I've been saying all along. So who would have thought?
And then so we're very hot now. Imagine if the special teams just catches fire in the playoffs.
I mean, hey, we have the power kill.
Yes,
we have the power kill, scoring shorties all the time. So that's all that really matters.
That's true. That we do get those goals.
We do love our shorthanders. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because you look at. We have the number 1 PK unit in the league, but the Hurricanes have been so anemic on the power play that they were I remember when they were top 10 in the league at one point. You're cool, great power plays, firing in all cylinders. The PK is doing amazing, and then all of a sudden, straight nosedive since December. January wasn't that great. February wasn't that great. Now you're looking at 26 in the NHL. And here's the thing, Rich. When you look at the playoffs, what are the two key things that really matter for teams to go win in the playoffs? You have to win on the road. Luckily, the Hurricanes have a stretch of 3 games where they could take care of business to make their 14, 15, and 1 record be a lot better, hopefully on the winning side of things. So you have to win on the road. Hasn't been that great this year, but they beat Philly. You have 3 games on the road to take care of it in California. The other thing is your power play's got to be good. You cannot have a weak power play in the playoffs because you're not going to get a ton of penalty. You're not going to get a ton of power plays, but when you do, you have to capitalize on it because you see teams that can't score power play goals don't usually win the Stanley Cup. So this is where
we
the
saw it.
to figure it out.
We unfortunately saw it last year in the Rangers series. Just special teams just went ice cold.
Oh, on both sides. Like that was the
yeah.
bad thing. Both sides went absolutely just stone cold at the wrong time. So yeah, if the PK stays hot like they have been, and if the power play at least somewhat figures it out, I'm not saying get back to top 10, but what? Top 20? Give me back to top 15. Give me top, 16th. Dead in the middle, half the league. Give me top half. That's all I care about. Just get back to top 16, then fine. Then we're feeling better about going into the playoffs. But if you're going in there 26th, not the greatest.
But look, if that's the only thing that's hurting rolling
that's the
into
only
the playoffs,
thing. It's the power
then you're fine as long as the guys are still hot.
It's the power. If the power kill is rolling, we're good. Yes. It's all about the power kill. Just not letting the other team score their power plays, and we score on them ourselves for the shorties. Why not?
Yes, we will see how that goes. And looking ahead again, our swing out to Cali. Hopefully that does some good for us, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, we're going to take a break for some of our sponsors. All right, this NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going. But that just means there's more time for your favorite team to figure things out and games left for you to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. And if you are new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
If you're looking for another local sponsor for our podcast that has been around for quite a while, I think Zach's got a few things to tell you.
I mean, Primo X Hockey only has been our OG sponsors even before episode 1 back in 2022. We are now on 3 years with Primo X Hockey being one of our main sponsors, and cannot say enough about those guys. If you go to PrimoXHockey.com, go to checkout, use code the SurgeCast, you get 20% off your order, and they also got free shipping, and they also get internationally too. And the thing is, they are open Monday through Saturday, occasionally on some Sundays. But the good thing too is, $5 skate sharpenings. If you need to get your skate sharpened, go check them out. They're at 1401 Diggs Drive, Suite E, 15 minutes from the arena. Basically you're helping out fellow season ticket members for the Hurricanes. And like I said, just a great group. If you're looking for sticks, indoor, outdoor pucks, tape, laces, they even got really sick merch too. We're talking hats, flags, t-shirts, koozies, whatever you can think of, man, they got it, and so much more. I'm just glad they've been with us for this long. I can't believe it's been 3 years, Kat, that we've had Primo X Hockey.
Honestly, the paid intern and me are going to try to get some skating under our belts because we eventually maybe want to do a beer league. And I said
they do sell skates there too. So
yeah, so I know when we're finally going to be getting into some of that stuff, and we need a deal and we need a local, we're going to Primo. So
the thing too is, like, they actually have it in store. You can go to their store too. Like I say, if you go to 1401, get your skate sharpened there. They have an inside store. Let them know that you heard about them through us at the SurgeCast. Like I said, they've been with us for 3 years now. Great group. They have a lot of great stuff. Like I said, you got, stick tape. They got laces, skates, sticks, helmets, anything you can think of. They pretty much got it there, and they've been doing it all the right way. So yeah, basically, just go check out Primo X Hockey. Shop local, support local, and you're helping out fellow season ticket members. Why not? Why not? And big thank you to those guys for being here with us for so long.
Yeah. And then, of course, I want to I said it at the top of the show, but I also want to do a reminder is that we now do partner with the NHL Shop. And guys, there's a bunch of fun things. I mean, you've got the Four Nations gear. I know the jerseys are a little much, but if you're looking for a t-shirt, a hat, anything that fits your fancy, or hey, maybe you have Christmas money left over somehow, and you want to splurge a little bit, or it's someone's birthday gift and you do want one of those awesome jerseys, I definitely do. A Jarvis Canada jersey would be. But also, if you have fans of, some of the stuff for the stadium series also is really awesome. Unfortunately, they don't have like the Red Wings helmets, which I think is the coolest thing. But if you're looking for anything throughout the year, it could be for one of these big events for the NHL, or just throughout there, you want some more gear. If you use our link for the NHL Shop, you're helping support your favorite podcast, which we really appreciate. Guys, we really don't do this for anything except the love of talking hockey. But if we had a little bit of help on the back end, is even more fun talking hockey. And honestly, it's not anything different. You go to the link, it's just like normal ordering. So yeah, help out your favorite hockey podcast.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Go check out those deals. Go check out our link on the NHL Shop. Get y'all some swag, spring cleaning, get rid of the old, bring in some new. Definitely go ahead and help us out there. But we missed something in the last segment. Shout out Scott Morrow, first career goal. Shout out to the dog,
dude,
Scott Morrow.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? Use your NHL Shop link. Go get yourself a Scotty Morrow jersey. So there we go. There you go.
He's going to be around for the long term for sure. One of many that kid's going to score.
Yeah, that was awesome by him to score his goal. And of course, like I said, you got Jankowski going 4-for-4. Stank's got a goal. Everyone's just. We're racking up so many different like milestones. Shane Gostisbehere with 300 assists. Pierre Kachekhov's having a career high win total. First goals, first assists. Like everything's coming up Millhouse for the Carolina Hurricanes for sure.
That's right, and hopefully they keep stacking these dubs on this California road trip.
Yeah. Give us some West Coast dubs, basically, Rich. Is that what we're going for? Hey,
dubs. Throw up your West Coast and throw out your dubs for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Let's be honest. Tupac did say that California knows how to party, but I don't think they're ready for this party to come to their state. I'm just saying, this might get a little surgy, a little stormy.
Which considering the game, so coming up tomorrow, tonight, the 20th, late Canes after dark. It might be the latest Canes puck drop time the entire season.
It's been, and the fact that it's on my birthday too is absolutely nuts. It's like, do I want to stay up for that? I'm not sure, but that is Canes after dark if I ever heard of one. 10:30 puck drop.
Yes, 10:30 Eastern puck drop versus the San Jose Sharks, the worst team in hockey. 18-41-9 record. They're already eliminated from the playoffs officially.
And like I will say this though, Rich, do not overlook the Sharks. They do have 18 wins for a reason. You still got Celebrini, who's been playing very well. He's probably going to win the Calder. They still got Tyler Toffoli. They still got Will Smith. Willie Meckland. Yes, they're a very bad team, but don't overlook them. Remember, we always say, don't play down to your opponent. Do not play down to the Sharks. We barely beat them. We beat them 3-2 last time in Carolina. Of course, this was their weird, struggly December. If this team's playing hot right now, this should be an easy win. But like I said, don't overlook the Sharks. This is a trap game. Do not fall for the trap card.
Without a doubt, especially being your first game after the long flight out to California.
With 4 days off, with an optional skate, with 2 option skates. Tuesday was like 4 guys showed up, and that was it. Like, we've had optional skates.
Very much a trap game. But again, if the guys play how they have been especially with everyone bought in.
60 minutes of Hurricanes hockey, silence the Shark Tank. They say don't pet the Sharks. Well, make sure you punch the Sharks in the mouth on this one. Knock them out early and come home with your 8th straight win to continue the trip with, at least.
Yep. So that's the first game, and then they'll have a back-to-back in the LA area. Saturday, 4:00 Eastern. They'll be taking on the Kings. Kings sitting pretty in 3rd in the Pacific Division. That's the one that I think might get them the most. Obviously, the Sharks is the big trap game, but of the teams and the way they play and just how good they've been this season, that'll be a very tough one.
This is where, for me, I could see it being it's either going to be a 9-game winning streak or a 9-game point streak, because this is where I could see them losing in overtime, because we lost to them last time at home 4-2 to start off February, and that was a very bad start to the month. But the Hurricanes are playing better, but I think this is where it's going to be a lot tougher because, Rich, if you look at the standings, the Kings are not that far back in Vegas. They have a lot to play for. So this is a game where, you're walking out with 9 in a row in the win column or 9 in a row in the point total. So, this is, for me, outside of the trap game against San Jose, this is probably where it's going to be their biggest tough yet to continue this road trip on a good run. So it'll be very interesting against the Kings.
Yes, so that it will be a total of 3 games in 4 days out there in California, as after the Kings game Saturday, they'll be taking on the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday night at 8:00. Granted, the Ducks pretty much out of contention from that wild card spot in the Western Conference.
Yeah, but
I think they're 9 points out. It'd be quite a fight to get back there. But you have some very dirty players on that team, so just don't get hurt. Come back. Don't get hurt with Trouba and Gudas.
Yeah, you got to watch over those guys. But you also got Troy Terry could score, Vic Fratano could score, Trevor Zegras. I mean, the last time these two teams played, the Ducks beat us on Eric Stahl Day, so you kind of want to get your revenge at their barn. So, this is where you definitely want to come out with a win on this one, and you finish Cali on a high note. So, if we're predicting points-wise, I want to say 6 for 6, but at the worst, Rich, that I can stomach 4 out of 6, but I'm hoping 5 at the least. 6 is like the perfect way to go through this. So either you're leaving with a 10-game winning streak or a 10-game point streak. Either way, you got to get points in all 3 games. But I would love a 10 for 10.
You definitely want to get the payback on both of the LA area teams for sure.
100%.
And I know this is the year of optimism on the Surge Cast.
Yeah.
But this, like you said, 4 days off, 3 games in 4 days, trip literally across the country. One of these games, they just absolutely crap the bed. I think 4 points. They get 4 points. I can tell you which one. Like maybe they play and dominate the Kings, but then the Ducks are just out of gas being out there for that long. I don't know.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, to be honest, Rich, I mean, the Ducks somehow have our number the last few seasons because we struggled there last season against them as well and lost pretty bad. So there's always that one weird team that has your number, and it's unfortunately the Ducks. So, I could see where it's like, hey, you got 3 games in 4 days. It's tough. Second half of the back-to-back, you probably could drop that one to the Ducks. So it's very possible. But here's the crazy part. We're talking 3 and 4. How about 5 and 6? Because they play Sunday night. That's an 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 5 in the afternoon. So by the time that's done and you fly back, you're getting very early Monday morning back into Raleigh, then immediately right back into another game Tuesday against Nashville. Like, that's a lot of hockey right off the rip after 4 days off.
Yes, a lot of hockey in a row. Tuesday night, it will be the return of Brady Shea officially, but not counting the preseason game for that. So I'm sure there'll be a good little tribute.
Well, there'll be a lot of cheers for Brady Shea. He was a fan favorite. I mean, hey, go get your bag, man. Can't blame him. If you want to get your money, go get your money. But it's you know there's gonna be a good tribute for Brady. So I mean, they did it for Brett. I don't see why Brady want to get one either. So,
which again, when you think it could be bad as a Canes fan, occasionally, whenever, if ever, this winning streak comes to an end, you could be the Nashville Predators, who blew a bag on so many guys, just to be 20, 25, 34, and 8 to be 7th in your division.
Yeah, I mean,
yikes.
And everyone picked these guys to be cup contenders, and they immediately just crapped it right from the rip. I mean, they did beat us, so we're looking for another revenge game. So honestly, Rich, you're looking at what, 3 revenge games in 4 days between the Kings, Ducks, and Preds. Hey, you gotta get your revenge games when you can. Go get your points. But yeah, I think with this one, like I said, it's a winnable game, but don't play down to their level again. Do not lose 5-2 like you did the last time we played them going into the winter break. We don't need that again. So
that's the thing. They're all the Kings game will be the toughest for sure. But yeah, at least 3 out of 4 games are already chalked up as W's on that calendar. It's just a matter of, do you continue to play hot? Do you continue to play hot after 4 days off? Do you continue to play hot versus bad opponents? Like if that mindset is there of like, no, we're coming out red hot. Like we are a unified unit. We are a unified team. Like we don't care who you are. We are going to kick your ass. They're going to be just fine.
Yeah, you're talking 3 out of 4. You're looking at what, 8 points? Yeah, you should at least get 6 at the minimum. You can stomach 6. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. 7, hey, great. You're on a point streak then. If you go 8 of 8, thank you very much. That's 11 straight with what, 4 games in 5 days or something like that, or 5 and 6, or 4 and 6. Yeah, 4 games in 6 days. Hey, not terrible. Go for the point streak, or you're going for straight wins after that. But yeah, you can stomach 6, 7, or 8. Fantastic. You love to see it. You're rolling on an 11-game point streak or 11-game winning streak by that point.
Which really, at this point, the big piece of what you're playing for is for second in the East, because you're not catching Washington to win the Metro or be first.
No,
in the East.
You're basically going for the home ice advantage for the playoffs. Outside of Washington, let's say you don't get Washington in the second round, which let's say there's some weird hockey god thing that happens and the Capitals are knocked out. Then U.S. Carolina, automatic home run for the rest of the playoffs. But if they do win, hey, like you said, Rich, go get second. You have home ice advantage for the rest of the playoffs, depending on how that goes. You're talking Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, right now your goal, second seed in the East.
Yes, you are sitting there by 1 point above both Florida and Toronto currently. You are sitting 3 points back of the Dallas Stars for third in the entire NHL. So again, if you're able to get past Washington, hopefully, if you're able to get past Dallas, hopefully only Winnipeg would stand in your way as the only other team inhibiting you from getting home ice advantage.
Yeah.
So, you said, these games are huge.
Yeah, because you're talking Cup final. Yeah. So there's a possibility you could get home ice advantage in the Cup final if you play your cards right. So, but I mean, even second in the East, if we get ahead of all the other teams outside of Washington and get second in the East, Eastern Conference Final home advantage, sign me up for that, Rich. I'm all for that. Give me that.
It's amazing that in a down year, the Carolina Hurricanes
year for the Hurricanes, where they might playoffs.
They have the fourth most
second in the East.
They have the 4th most points in the NHL and second in the East. How about them apples?
I mean, hey, when we were worse off than we were after the trade deadline and all this other stuff. It's, you know what, Rich? It is good to be a Carolina Hurricanes fan right now. What are we talking about? Vibes cannot be more immaculate. They are just fresh and nice right now.
The vibes, yes. The vibes are through the roof. Make sure y'all have your caffeine ready for this California trip. If you do stay up for the Sharks game, even if you stay up for the Anaheim game, that's a little late for Sunday night. If you get up early,
it's 8 o'clock. It's not too bad. It's not. At least it's 8 o'clock. It's doable. It's like playing in the Central Division. You're fine. It's good. No big deal. But yeah, that Thursday game though, yikes, that's late. Canes After Dark.
Yes, Canes After Dark will be in full swing here coming up for the Canes. But it is an exciting time to be a Carolina Hurricanes fan. Yep. That is for sure. Zach, you got anything to add here before we end?
No, just like I said, just get your naps in, be like Seth Jarvis, get your naps in, get your caffeine in, grab your snacks, get comfy, get ready for some late games of Carolina Hurricanes hockey, and let's just have a fun California trip, because why not?
Fun California trip. This is a side note, but did you see that in the Daily Faceoff article with Stan Coven that there's a piece that the guy interviewing Stan Coven was like, yeah, like speaking of Seth Jarvis, though, one time I was just interviewing him, and in the middle of the interview, he pulled out a piece of pizza and started eating it. I had no idea where the pizza came from. Like such an all-time Seth Jarvis story. Like,
did you see the video from practice today? He's just sitting in the net, no big deal. Just and the Hurricanes are like, oh, even during practice, he'll find a way to take a nap. And he's just sitting in the goal. Some guy's just doing some little deeks in front of the net, and he just kneels next to him. He's just kind of just sitting there in the net, just kind of chilling, no big deal. It's like that could not be any more Seth Jarvis.
Between the time I met him at the Canes Bash last year and times I've allegedly ran out to him on the town, like he's just an all-time dude. He's the best human.
He is honestly, like, you're talking possible face of the franchise type of guy, and that's just because of his personality and just how approachable he is. Yeah, like there's no one better than Seth Jarvis right now in terms of just being that dude for the Carolina Hurricanes. And hey, I know, like I said, we have the NHL link. Click on it. Go get yourself a Seth Jarvis jersey. He's going to be here for the next 7 seasons after this year. Why not invest in a Jarvis jersey?
Mr. Moneybags says, pull out the money bags a little bit and help us out.
Yes.
But we appreciate y'all joining us on this episode, hearing all about everything going on with the Canes, a couple of game recaps, what's going on for the Canes looking forward. We're excited to get back with y'all next week. Kat will likely be back on. Hope y'all could at least stomach me in the meantime. And we're excited to continue this thing and build a momentum moving forward as we are a month away from the playoffs.
15 games left for us. 15 games left in the regular season. We are very close to playoff hockey in Carolina once again.
It is crazy out there in these streets now. It's about to get even more intense coming up. So we'll be back on the grind. Check out all the socials. We'll get you locked in for everything going on with the Canes. Stay in touch with Zach. Stay in touch with Kat. We got y'all covered. But for now, that's all for this episode. How's it go? We'll see you next time. Whoa, I just hit the whoa on the Searchcast.
See you guys.